Great to be with you for Wednesday's edition of NBL Now. It is always, as always, brought to you by Code Sports, your number one source for basketball news and information. This is the beauty about the Ignite Cup. It's a Wednesday, and we've got games tonight. The Cairns Taipans taking on the Perth Wildcats. I'm Jack Heverin. We're going to talk Wildcats and a whole lot more with one of the greatest to ever do it in this league. His number 15 hangs in the rafters at RAC Arena. He is a four-time champion. The amazing Ricky Grace. Ricky, welcome to NBL Now.
Thank you. Great to be here. Great to be with you.
Let's start with the Wildcats, which makes a lot of sense because they're in action tonight. How have you seen the season so far? It feels like we've seen a little bit of everything from them.
Yeah, it's been a bit erratic. You've seen some good things and obviously some not so good things, but it's still early days. So, it's time to work things out. So, obviously, they haven't gotten off to the start that they've wanted, not playing the best basketball that we're accustomed to seeing over here in Perth. But, hopefully they can pull it together and figure it out.
Why don't you just try and help everyone listening understand the expectation, I guess, of Perth fans? We see it on social media and we understand that they want success, but, they don't accept anything less than the best, do they?
Well, rightly so. I guess if you have the best supporters in the league and, if you look at attendance, if you look at ownership, those sort of things, West Australia has been very lucky to have that. So I guess if you look at the amount of cash being put into this club, so the expectation should be there. Wildcats have always been a club that have delivered a high level, high standard product. So we expect nothing less here in the West.
You said that there's been some good and there's been some stuff that concerns you. Let's focus on the good to start with. What have you liked from this season so far?
I like, it's young, it's fresh, it's exciting. I like that part of it. They played some good basketball at times. Just tough grit where they were able to grit out some games where I didn't think they played that well. But the mark of a good team is to be able to win when you don't play that well. So I was excited about that. They probably won some games. Even they admitted they probably used some of their get out of jail free cards, but it's good to be able to win when you're not playing well. So that's a positive that I saw out of their wins in the beginning of the year.
Joe Luala-Chill's a marquee signing in this league. You've had a chance to have a look at him now. Do you feel like he's very quickly integrated into this Perth team and has become the marquee man that they were hoping he'd be?
Well, I like to see marquee players do marquee things in a winning situation. So my thing is play great when the team is playing great. So I think the challenge for the Wildcats and Joe is to figure out how can they keep remaining to get Joe involved, but also get others involved too. Because sometimes you can focus a little too much on going to one person. Now, I'm not saying that's happening, but I have seen that happen before. So the Wildcats, to me, still haven't found their identity where Joe can look great, but then the whole team looks great at the same time.
They made a change recently with Mason Jones, so there is an import spot available. What type of player do you think they need in that import spot, Ricky? Because Mason, for a few different reasons, didn't fit. So if it was you in charge, what sort of player are you going to look at for that point guard spot?
Man, I went and shot a few shots the other day because they need a Ricky Grace. And
is Ricky Grace still available?
They don't grow on trees, bro. They don't grow on trees. So they need somebody that can just take the team over and said, okay, boys, I got this. You guys are great players, but follow my lead. You go there, you go there, you go there, and I got this. So they got pieces of the puzzle, but they remind me of the teams even when I first arrived in Perth. I know it was a long time ago, but they had pieces, but they need somebody to glue it all together. And that's what they need. They need a coach on the floor, somebody that control a man's man, somebody that can come in there and go, look, I'm a grown-ass man. I know what I'm doing, and I got game to back it up, and they can come in there and lead this team. So that's what I think they need, is just a grown-ass man that can run a team that's good enough to beat their player at any time, but they also can get others involved.
So is that organizer first, scorer second mentality?
Well, it can be a score first because the game is sort of changed where you can be a scorer first, but you better let that score be a score. Now,
Yeah.
you got to trust them to just make the right decision. So, it's up to the coaches to figure that out. I mean, I'm not at practices every day, so I really don't know the strengths and weaknesses of all the other players, but it can be a score first, but this score still has to have the freedom to be able to do and read the game to their strengths that they've always played, which is the reason I'm thinking you would bring them out here. But then they also have to be and have the ability, because with this Wildcat team, just like the teams that I had, there's a lot of mouths that want to be fed. So you got to be able to balance taking your opportunities and still showing your strengths by scoring, but you still got to be able to feed a lot of mouths, because if you don't feed those mouths, there's going to be dissension.
It's a funny season, Ricky, in that we've had a lot of imports who, for different reasons, have already left the league. Some for personal reasons, some weren't the right fit for their teams. I mean, you are one of the greatest imports that our league's ever had. Why do you think this season there's been perhaps more than other seasons so early?
Man, the league is good. It is good. It is some great, great players out here in this league. I mean, I am super impressed with the quality of play in the NBL. This is a world-class league. And if you don't come out here with your A game, and sometimes, it has to be the right fit. So, and these clubs aren't wasting time. So they're pulling the trigger quick, because these guys are good. It is some really great basketball players and teams out here. So if you don't get it right, you got to throw that hand in and call for a redeal real quick.
Speaking of getting it right, Perth are 3-3 going into tonight against the Cairns Taipans, who have lost their last four. So it feels like tonight there's going to be a big winner and a big loser out of this game. Are you liking the Wildcats to go to Cairns and win this?
I'm nervous. Because, Adam Ford is, basically from WA. I mean, he cut his teeth coaching over here. So I know players mark dates on the calendar, and I know coaches do too. And this is one of the teams that I'm sure he always has in the back of his mind that he is preparing his team for. So this Cairns, the Wildcats will receive Cairns' best punch tonight. And to be honest, they are a bit wounded at the moment. So I'm going into this game extremely nervous as a Wildcats fan. But you know what they say when you back a cat up against the wall? Wow.
I was waiting for you to finish that because I actually didn't know what they say.
Corner a cat, brother. Corner a cat. You can't corner a cat.
I don't spend a lot of time around cats. Bryce Cotton playing with the Adelaide 36ers. I know that you and Bryce have had a great relationship, and it's built on mutual respect over the journey. Is it hard for you, with all of your passion and love for the Perth Wildcats, to see Bryce playing in another team?
Yeah, it is. It genuinely is. Bryce is, great player. We all know that. Even better person, which is, hard to do. But we wish him the best. What he did and brought to Perth was unparalleled. I believe he still has his house in Perth. Bryce, you're welcome back, bro. Anytime. But not trying to poach you or anything. We want you to have a great time over there, sir. But it is hard watching him, but it's fun watching him. I mean, I actually tune into his games to watch him because it's such a great player. And now Bryce actually has a team that was recruited and is happy. And I'm not saying the Wildcats weren't, but they are very happy to play to Bryce's strengths even more. So I'm just so excited to see such a great player in their prime doing such great things. I just wish it was still for the Wildcats.
What happens when he comes back to Perth? I know it's not for a little while yet. What do you think the reception will be like from the Red Army?
Love.
Yeah.
Nothing but love. Nothing but love and appreciation. Obviously, the Wildcats want to win, and he's chosen a different career path. So we'll definitely want to beat him. And it's like playing against your best friend. If it's anybody you don't want to lose to, it's your best friend. So nothing but love here in Perth. I'm obviously still connected to Wildcat fans, Wildcat Nation, and when I speak to Wildcat fans, there is nothing but love for Bryce Cotton. So when he comes back, we will show our love, but soon as the game and the ball is tipped off, well, then he's just like another opponent.
He and the Adelaide 36ers, I should say, have got Melbourne on Sunday in Melbourne. Now, Ricky, this has got all the makings of being an early preview of what could happen in the playoffs. This is first versus second, an undefeated Melbourne United. Bryce Cotton with this look in the eye night in, night out. What do you think happens on Sunday?
Well, yeah, man, Melbourne United is what. Man, I'm not a betting man, but for the first time, I almost went in my wallet and put some money because on Melbourne United to win this whole thing, because this is possibly the best team I've ever seen in NBL. I mean, I just don't see a weakness. There's one team that can beat Melbourne United. But Bryce is capable of anything. Now, how hard? I just don't see anybody beating this team 3 times in the finals, but I don't want to get too far ahead. But in one game, anything can happen, and Bryce can bamboozle you with his skills. So, if he gets in that mood, anything can happen. But man, Melbourne United look unstoppable at the moment.
Just before I let you go, because I know that you pay very special attention to all of the point guards around the league. It's like a little club, all you PGs. You all stick together and you all keep an eye.
Shrinking, though. It's shrinking. It's shrinking.
Oh, that's the problem. The game's changing, Ricky. Who, out of all of the point guards that we've got in the league this season, who are you liking?
Well, Bryce is still a point guard to me, even though he's more like an Iverson where he plays off but still on. I mean, he still has the ball in his hands quite a bit, but I love, just all the point guards. But I think, Sydney, as soon as my man left Adelaide, I wouldn't have minded doing a little swap there, So, Bryce to Adelaide and then him to Perth.
Kendrick to Perth, yeah.
I would have loved to seen Kendrick in Perth because I think he's the exact type of player that the Wildcats need right now. Somebody that can go get their own shot, somebody that can run a team, can still take their player at any time, but also gets other players involved. So, after Bryce, I'm going to go Kendrick Davis. But, man, there's so many good, point guards in the league. Melbourne United's point guard does his thing. Tazzy, they do a great job of just putting the ball in his hands and letting their guy go. So I'm telling you, man, basketball in Australia right now is hot. There are some great players and some great point guards out there. I'm enjoying it.
It's been a really funny season so far. Been very interesting. I think it all starts tonight with Cairns and Perth, a very interesting one. To start off the round of the Ignite Cup at the Cairns Convention Centre, Ricky, it's been an absolute honour to chat to you. Been an honour to have you on NBL Now, and we should do it again soon.
Let's do it.
Ricky Grace joining us on NBL Now with thanks to Code Sports. Jump online, check out all the news and information that you need ahead of round 6 in the NBL. We'll catch you next time.